So this is part 2 of a 2-part video. Part 1's over at my channel. Click up there and watch that, and then come back here to 𝐂𝐿's channel and watch part 2. We also went to 𝐕𝐂𝐍𝐿.
Oh, 𝐕𝐂𝐍𝐿's the heritage city.
Yeah, it's a colonial era city. A lot of the Philippines, you know, it was a colonial era for Spain for a long time, then America, and now of course it's been free for many, many years. But 𝐕𝐂𝐍𝐿 is one of the places you can go where you sort of feel like you're in Mexico or Colombia or South America. It really has a Spanish feel to it. It has these cobblestone streets and gorgeous homes and stuff.
And also they have a good coffee over there.
Yeah.
From 𝐕𝐂𝐍𝐿.
And so that was another highlight. And then although we didn't go where he lives, we interviewed Calvin. You may have heard him, Sunshine Shoulders.
Yes.
He built a house in the Philippines for $20,000, and so he's also on our guest star playlist.
From Philippines, after 6 months in Philippines, we went to Glasgow, Scotland.
Yeah, Glasgow. And it was my sister's birthday, and she just invited family and friends over there. And Glasgow is where we landed, and we all jumped in buses, and we went to
Inverness City.
Yeah, Inverness and Loch Ness, and we rented these boats. I guess they're yachts because they're 40 feet long, which we don't normally spend that kind of money. But it was my sister's 60th birthday party, and it was just an amazing landscape, wasn't it?
Yes, and even the yacht inside have a heater, which is
It was a 2-bedroom, 2-bath yacht we were in, so.
And also that when we go to Scotland, that is a time to enjoy the bread, the cheese, the wine, the beer, the blueberry, and some, you know, those the cold season fruit, which is nice because wine is cheap in, you know, Europe.
We flew back to Thailand.
After 2 years, we go to the Thailand.
Yeah, we hadn't been to Thailand for 2 years, since before the pandemic.
Yeah.
And then we went to Pattaya. Yeah, and Pattaya, as you probably know, is it's one of the craziest parts of Thailand. It's where they have a walking street and all this crazy nightlife. A little bit loud sometimes, but for a place to go vacation and have fun, it's hard to beat Pattaya.
Yes.
And we interviewed Eric. And Eric
was a very fun guy, very nice guy.
He was, and he moved from Canada, and he shared his experience. He opened a bar in Pattaya, and he also went to jail in Pattaya. What a great interview he was. He's on the guest star playlist. Let's see. Then we went to
Genting, and we have a very good apartment that we find.
Yeah.
Online.
Right.
It's only $20. You definitely need to check out the cost of living in Genting.
Yeah.
That our apartment is so beautiful.
Yeah, and while we were in Genting, we met Gary, who we'd interviewed before, and we interviewed him a second time. He showed us his apartment and his life, and that he's living on $833 a month. And he was enjoyable, a Scottish man. We had a good time getting to know Gary.
And his apartment is also beautiful with those gyms and a swimming pool. It's like our apartment in Genting.
Showed us around his apartment, and he showed us other ones that were even cheaper where he lives. And he also has a channel. So if you come watch his video on the guest star playlist, you can go to his channel, ask him questions and stuff.
Yeah, so we went to Koh Samui.
Koh Samui, yeah.
And Koh Phangan. Koh Samui is a very beautiful town. And it have a lot of expats living over there. At first, before I go there, I was like, very small town. I mean, it's an island, you know. Why so many people are living there? And we went and we're like, whoa, now I know why.
Yeah.
It's a very calm and peaceful neighborhood, you know.
It has an island feel to it, and there's beaches all the way around the island, and there's great Buddhist temples, and there's restaurants both local and international, and there's a nightlife there. I wouldn't call it crazy, but it's totally enjoyable. It'll satisfy most people. It's a great place.
And also they have a lot of hospital over there in Koh Samui, and they have international airport. One thing is I like about Koh Samui is it is totally different than Pattaya and Phuket, because the police will not disturb you that much. When you have a motorbike, because when you're driving a motorbike, if you don't have a motorbike license, you have to pay the fine for like.
Or if you're not wearing a helmet.
Yeah, but we wearing helmet. But
in Koh Samui, they seem to leave people alone.
Yeah, they don't disturb you to check your ID about do you have a motorbike license. This is what I love about Koh Samui.
Yeah, very free feeling. But you should wear a helmet, because if you fall off that bike, you're dead. When we were in Koh Samui, all my life I've heard about the full moon beach party, and we were just a ferry ride away from Koh Phangan, so we jumped on a ferry and off we went.
We go to the full moon party in Koh Phangan.
Yeah, Koh Phangan is a hippie island. It's full of people that are into spiritualism and yoga and vegetarianism and all this
yes.
sort of thing. And it's a fairly young crowd compared
It's
to
very
most
young crowd.
expats.
Yes.
Yeah, 20s and 30s. There are people in their 40s and 50s, even some in their 50s and 60s. But generally, it's a 20s, 30s, 40s crowd.
Yeah.
But it's a beautiful. The thing about it is it's not as developed as other parts of Thailand. It has more of a rural, natural feel to it, which is nice.
So after Thailand, we went to Malaysia. So we spent time in Kedah. So I was busy with my family. I didn't make so much video actually. Yeah.
Yeah. And so 𝐤𝐿 had this idea 6 months ago that she wanted to go to Sabah, but she wanted to bring her parents.
Yeah.
And so she brought her parents. That's what we did next.
Yeah. So we went to Semporna.
Semporna, which is one of the most beautiful beaches in the world, the islands off Semporna. Maybe you've heard of Jacques Cousteau. He's been to those beaches and he's dove there, and he said it's one of the top 5 places in the world. And so we brought 𝐤𝐿's parents down there to those islands,
Yes.
and we stayed in Semporna for like 5 days or something.
And so the best thing in Semporna is seafood. So we have the seafood in Semporna is cheaper, so we can have the lobster, we can have the tiger prawns and the fish, and they are fresh. So because this time with my family, so I'm able to eat those seafood.
Yeah.
And the crab and everything is just amazing to me.
Yeah, and 𝐤𝐿 wanted to spoil her parents, and she got these what would you call them, like cabins or over the
It's just we call that as a water bungalow.
water bungalow. These were bungalows over the water, and so you could look down, like when you're in the bathroom, and you could see fish swimming in the ocean below you. It was a brilliant experience, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you want to know that where we went in that Semporna and the bungalow, I didn't choose the expensive one. Most of people they go to Mabu Island or Kapala, which is those very expensive hotel. I choose this one. It's more like a boutique hotel, and they are more take care of their guests.
Yeah.
That's why I choose in this resort.
And then we toured a number of islands while we were there. White sand beaches, amazing coral, just like we saw in the Philippines on the 𝒕𝒏 experience. Beautiful, colorful fish.
Yes, it's very beautiful. After that, we go to Sandakan
Yes.
to see the animal, which is the first time. Okay, I'm from the West Malaysia, so this is my first time in the East Malaysia. So I think it's really surprised me a lot that
Yeah.
I can see orangutan and sunbear and the big nose monkey.
Proboscis monkeys, yeah.
Is very nice.
Yeah. Yeah, so we saw the orange-colored orangutans that you see in Borneo, and we saw the proboscis. It was really a fun experience.
And
wasn't it?
the taxi driver say that how many orangutan that you see? Then say like 4 or 5, and then he said you are very lucky.
Yeah.
Because those animal is a wild animal, so
Yeah.
sometimes they're not showing out. We
Yeah,
went
it's
to
not
the,
a zoo. It's
yeah,
a
it's not a-
sanctuary.
so they put the food over there for them to have the easy food.
Yeah.
So it depends on them they want to come to eat or not. So
Yeah,
we
yeah.
are very lucky.
Yeah, it's protected territory, and so they come eat if they want to.
The next is
Went to Kota Kinabalu.
Kota Kinabalu.
Yeah, we went by the mountain Kinabalu on the way, and wow.
Kinabalu Mall.
Wasn't that amazing?
Amazing. We have a video of that. It's like, wow.
Incredible. 13,000 feet in the middle of Southeast Asia. It's crazy big.
And also that we are stay time in the Kota Kinabalu. That is a very beautiful town to
It
me.
is.
You have a feeling like in Penang, the West Malaysia of Penang. But this is more settled down and it's more laid back
Yeah.
feeling.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like because Penang is quite like very busy town.
Yeah, a little fast paced.
Yeah, a little bit.
Kind
but
of
this one-
competitive feeling.
Yeah, and they have in Kota Kinabalu they have a lot of the vegetarian restaurant.
Yeah, and it had an island feel to it. And of course, it's on Borneo. I think it's the third largest island in the world. 3 countries, Indonesia,
Yeah.
Malaysia, and Brunei. And so it is an island, but it's such a big island. We were surprised it had such a great feeling.
Yeah, and also in KK, that's we can go to the island. We go for the
Yeah,
island hopping,
yeah.
which is very cheap. It's like less than $10
Yeah,
for one island. If 2 island is about 45 ringgit, it's about $10.
yeah. Well organized too.
Yeah.
Beautiful islands. We had a nice time.
And one thing that surprised me in KK, Kota Kinabalu, is they have a big Christmas celebrations.
Yeah.
That is blow my mind.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
I mean, it was a big stage. There must have been 50 people up on stage
Yes,
that were
more than
singing
that.
Christmas carols and dancing.
Yes.
And there were choreographed people out in front of the stage that were all dancing the same. And there was a huge crowd. And there was like a 4 or 5 story Christmas tree in a big, beautiful park.
Yeah.
I was surprised.
I was surprised, but after that I Google, I just realized that in Sabah, Christian is a majority crowd.
Yeah.
The people on
Yeah.
the Sabah, like, oh, I see.
And we went to a cultural village that
Oh.
showed us how the original people lived,
Yeah.
and their costumes and their beliefs and all that, and their music and dance. And we learned, that's where we learned that Christianity.
Yeah.
Why? Because it was Christianity that first came to Borneo.
Yeah, because the World War II, the Australian, British, and Japanese, they bombed a lot here, and
Yeah.
and the place that we stay in KK also is called Australian places.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
means the
yeah.
Australian Navy or Army, they was stationary over there.
Yeah. So all the religions are in Borneo,
Mm-hmm.
but we were surprised to see just how big Christianity was.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
The next, and then from KK, we flew to Kuching. We didn't take the bus. You know why? There's 18 hours at least from Kota Kinabalu to Kuching,
Yeah.
but we chose to fly.
We flew. Yeah. And it was a few hour flight.
No, 1.5 hour flight.
Yeah. And so far we're loving Kuching. We've only been here a couple days, so we don't have much to say about it, other than the waterfront is blown my mind. I mean, it's gorgeous waterfront that it's rivers in the city that flow through the city, and they have these beautiful brick walkways and 100, 200-year-old trees that are shading and beautiful colonial era buildings. It's really a nice city.
You have to stay tuned on the cost of living that we make in this East Malaysia.
Exactly.
And we will fly to Cebu, which is Cebu in Malaysia, in Sarawak. It is about 40 minutes by the flight or 5 hours by the car.
Yeah.
And we got a very cheap ticket to fly. For return ticket, each person is pay, I think it's $20, right?
Roughly, yeah.
Per person from Kuching flew to Cebu, and Cebu flew back to Kuching.
Yeah, round trip.
Round trip.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, so that's another city we'll see here in Sarawak while we're here.
Yes.
And so that's what you've done for us this last year. You've made all this possible. We really appreciate it. And we're going to continue to explore the world and tell you about it and create these reports so you can watch our feet on the ground and watch what we do, what we eat, what we spend money on.
Accommodation, where we stay and how we find accommodation, what kind of the transportation that we take, and what kind of the visa that we use. But mostly we are using the tourist visa.
Yeah, and we'll continue to bring our guest stars, and you're invited to be a guest star. Come on the channel, tell your story about where you're living in the world and what you love about it and what you don't love as much, and we'll continue to share that with our audience.
Thank you for watching this video.
Yeah, and make sure that you like,
Comment.
subscribe,
Thank you so much and happy holiday.
and ring the bell.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.